This Man Up channel is about accountability, it's about morality, it's also about things that might help you. Now, we all know that going forward, the future of modern day Europe is looking a little bit dicey, to say the very least. And one of the things that I've noticed is that many people coming into this country, apart from the fact they're all male and of a fighting age, a lot of them aren't exactly fat, all right? Some of them look fairly fit indeed, right? And I was looking around at the population of us lot, and we carry weight. Now, there's a lot of implications to carrying weight anyway. Some of you may remember, if you've known me long enough, that at one point I got up to 18 stone. What did I have when I had 18 stone? I had problems with my knee, pitting edema, gout, bad skin, shit breathing. Well, my breathing's a great deal better, but it is better. My depression, anxiety, all that shit was, not as good. And you may have noticed in the face that I have lost some weight. I got on the scales today and I've lost 2 stones so far, and we're still going. And I'm not making a lot of effort. So let me tell you how it happened and why it's important to you. You've got your obvious health reasons like heart attack, stroke, all that kind of stuff, right? You know all that, right? I won't bore you with that. But there are other benefits, little things you take for granted, like being able to hop out of bed a lot quicker, being able to move around a lot better, being able to just, everything about it feels better. But anyway, all I've done personally, my mate said to me, so do the 1 meal a day, that's what I do. I said, but I've seen the size of your meal, it's like this. He went, yeah, but it's just 1 meal a day. So I looked into it, and it's working, by the way, and it's not that hard. And you don't have to do 1 meal a day every day, by the way. And whatever the meal is whatever you want it to be. Obviously, if you want things to work quicker, then you adapt it, right? Now, I have vegetables. If I don't have vegetables, my guts give me problems, right? And what I'll do is I'll go to the butcher's and I'll get butcher's sausages, a butcher's pie, whatever the butcher's doing, kind of thing. Or there's little things called Nailsy Nom Noms. They're lovely. But you choose. The whole purpose of you going into sort of fasting is that your body will, for a short period of time, go into ketosis. Your body will start eating away at its own fat supplies. Also, you've got to work out yourself, how much work am I actually doing? Does it warrant all of this food? And I looked at it, and at the time I wasn't doing very much. I was just driving a truck and not actually getting out of it very much and not doing very much else. So I just thought 1 meal a day will do. Now, immediately you do this 1 meal a day thing, you've got to drink water as well, a lot of water. I take 2 bottles like this to work and do that at least a day. I have coffee in the morning. Now, I've been drinking beer. I know I need to give it up, but I have been drinking beer on the weekend, and I've not been going that easy, if I'm honest. That's something I've looked at again lately, and we'll get to that. So it's not as if you can go without your takeaways on the weekend, but if you persist with this during the week, all right, and you give yourself a treat, takeaway on the weekend, maybe 2, I did, and beer, which I did, right, I'm still losing weight. I'm not losing it as quick as I would, but that's not always a bad thing. But I've already lost, as I say, 2 stone, and I had a bit of an easier weekend this last weekend. I didn't eat as much, and I certainly didn't drink anywhere near as much, and the weight fell off again. How do I feel? A lot better. And the one thing you'll notice, because I have, when you go in the morning, you're a bit pissy sometimes, all right? It's called being hangry. But by the time you get to lunchtime, you've got all this energy, and it feels really good. By the time you get to like 3 o'clock, you ain't hungry. You're also probably in some sort of level of ketosis then, I would have thought. But you're taking the fat off. It is a good feeling. But if you break that up halfway through the day and have yourself a burger, see how shit you feel. I'm not talking mentally shit, I'm talking you feel like physically shit. And after a while, your body gets used to having good stuff. So when you go and give it a junk food meal, you don't get that dopamine reward that you used to get. You actually get a feeling of lethargic, shit, bloating, and all the other things that you've been without for a while. And it's quite a kick up the ass, because it makes you, or it reminds you, of how far you've come and how you used to feel. So it's a winner-winner, chicken dinner. But I'm not going to be one of these things that I've done it, you should do it. I'm just saying that the benefits that I'm getting out of it already. And it is nice to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and see the change. All right. Now, I at one point was fat as fuck. I make no bones, and it doesn't do a lot for your self-confidence. But for me, I ignore the BMI because, to be honest, if I actually stayed within my BMI, I'd look like fucking Carol Carpenter without the hair and a beard. But you get the idea. So don't take what somebody says you should look like, because they don't live within your skin. You have to go with what feels best for you. But I thought I'd put this out there because the way I started this diet was like this. I knew that I couldn't eat during the day, and I knew I'd want to. So the first thing I did is I didn't take any food in with me, only the water, and I didn't take any method of payment. So I couldn't break it. Now after a little while, your stomach shrinks down. It's a benefit. Not just that, you're going to save a fuckload of money on food bills. I can tell you that. I don't have to shop anywhere near as much as I used to. And life's a lot simpler. You get very much used to not eating during the day. It's not a problem. The only time you have a problem is when you're working with a mate who insists on stopping at every burger van there is in creation. And then you're like, oh shit. But yeah, again, you have yourself a burger, then you feel like shit after it. So, but it becomes habit forming in a very short space of time. And then you're sorted. And I think this is somebody I know about if I pass them. Yeah, it is. He's my neighbour. Didn't even notice me. He's had all sorts of medical problems because he's a big lad. And he's not learning, which is a shame because he's a lovely guy. Anyway, it was just, I thought I'd give what I've noticed and the benefits that I'm getting out of it. And it's up to you. But one of the other reasons is, with what we've got coming, you may need to be on your toes at some point and get away from a situation. I'm not saying stand there and make out you some fucking hard nut and deal with it. I'm saying it may be a case that you might have to be on your toes. And it's going to be a lot harder to do that if you're struggling with ailments, hip problems, knee problems, gout, overweight, breathing, all that sort of shit. And this is more the reason. I mean, if you were going to die a quick death from a heart attack, much as I would rather you didn't, that's your choice. But I certainly wouldn't want you to fall foul of the new to the reservation who don't seem to be on our side. And I saw the other day a massive gathering of people from the religion of fucking hate. I mean peace, sorry, I keep getting that one wrong. It's hard to... But they were all forming up, looking for gangs of white people to batter. The divide is happening, whether we want it or not, and we don't want it, anybody normal wouldn't. It's happening regardless. So you might want to tell you and your loved ones that maybe you should start getting in some sort of better shape, if you're in a bad shape, for your own self-preservation and nothing else. Just a thought. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'll see you in a bit.